Professor Krelix adjusted his translucent membranes, his gaze fixed on the monitoring screens. In its 3,000-year history, the Galactic Institute of Survival Sciences had never seen anything like this. The results from Extreme Survival Classroom 101 were in. This test was designed to weed out the weak from the galaxy's most elite species. And the humans, they had just aced it. All of them. Krelix had been deeply skeptical when Earth was admitted to the program. Humans were so fragile, so soft. They had no exoskeletons, no natural armor, and they couldn't survive in a vacuum for more than a few minutes. The four-armed Valorians had laughed at their applications. The Crystalline Collective dismissed them as barely sentient, but the Galactic Council had insisted on universal acceptance. So Krelix reluctantly made room for the young species. The test itself was utterly brutal. Contestants were dropped onto a hostile moon with minimal gear and told to survive for 30 cycles. The environment swung from scorching heat to crushing cold. Vicious predators stalked the valleys. Random radiation spikes were a constant threat. Every other species sent back 2 or 3 survivors, if they were lucky. The humans, they sent back all 20. Krelix watched the playback, mesmerized. The first human, a woman named Sarah Chun, had used a strategy no one saw coming. Instead of fighting the environment, she observed it. She noticed that the predatory Xinthian creatures were mostly nocturnal and avoided certain minaret stones. She then herded her entire group to a large outcropping of those very stones and built a simple barrier. While other species wasted precious energy in futile combat, the humans rested safely. The mighty Valorians, with their superior strength, had tried to dominate the challenge through brute force. 3 of them perished. The remaining 2 survived through sheer physicality, not strategy. Another human, Marcus, tackled the radiation problem differently. He had actually read the old expedition reports and the briefing material, something most species ignored. Using that data, he mapped out the radiation surge patterns and predicted the safe zones with stunning accuracy. His group sheltered at just the right moments, and not a single one of them suffered from radiation sickness. But what truly set the humans apart was their adaptability and their bizarre habit of finding creative solutions under extreme pressure. When water became scarce, a human named Dr. Okonkwo identified moisture-bearing plants that no xenobiologist had ever classified as edible. When food ran low, they crafted tools from stone and bone. They weren't as efficient as the Crystalline Collective, who could literally shape themselves into cutting implements. But they showed a resourcefulness born from millennia of surviving on their own hostile world. And then there was the most illogical part of all. They worked together. Other species competed ruthlessly, even sabotaging each other to guarantee their own survival. But the 20 humans operated like a single organism. They shared resources, kept morale high with stories and humor, and protected their weakest members. When one human fell ill, the others cared for them without a second thought. Krelix replayed the footage again, fascinated. He saw Marcus teaching others his radiation mapping technique. He saw Sarah encouraging a struggling young man named David when his spirits were low. He watched them celebrate every small victory together, their voices rising in coordinated sounds that somehow strengthened their resolve. It made no sense from a competitive standpoint, and yet, it was the most effective survival strategy the test had ever seen. The review committee would demand an explanation. Krelix began to prepare his findings. The conclusion was undeniable. Earth had produced something extraordinary. Humanity's true survival advantage wasn't physical or intellectual, it was something deeper. They had an incredible ability to organize, innovate, and persevere as a collective. They could endure not just a harsh environment, but the crushing psychological weight of survival itself. As Krelix filed his report, recommending advanced placement for all human students, he allowed himself a small, rare smile. The galaxy had worried about integrating such a fragile species. They never imagined that weakness could be transformed into wisdom, that fragility could forge unbreakable bonds. They never thought that a race born on a Deathworld might teach the galaxy as a lead the true meaning of survival. The test was designed to break them. Instead, they had rewritten the rules of the game. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. See you next time.